Hey, what's up you guys? I'm John from John's Tune-Ups and Maintenance, and before the video I wanted to do a little introduction on basically talk about brakes a little bit before I do it. Today I'm going to be showing you a video for a 2001 Honda Civic, how to change out the brakes. It's basically the same, exactly the same for a 2001 to 2005, but every car is basically the same thing. It's just a little bit different, but they're all, if you see this video, they all have the same thing. Welcome back you guys to John's Tune-Ups and Maintenance. Today I wanted to bring you on how to change your brakes, your brake pads specifically, because there's two types. There's the brake pads and also there's the drum brakes ones. Some more old school, the disc are a lot better. I kind of want to do a little in-depth video on it to show you exactly everything you need to do in order to change it if it's your first time. So first of all, what you should be doing is breaking off these seals before you lift up the vehicle. So I have this breaker bar right here, you guys can see it. Alright, so you would break it off, the seals. The reason you do this is because once you bring it up, if the car is stick, the wheels will tend to rotate, and I wouldn't suggest putting it on a gear in order to hold it, because then you're basically having that transmission hold it. So preferred way is to break it while it's still on the bottom. Then you will lift up the vehicle and then you will take out the bolts. Alright, as you see I already took off all the bolts. The hubcaps, they come off, tire comes off, and now you have your brakes. Normally I tend to use the tire as a little seating thing. So okay you guys, so now everything's taken off. I wanted to show you where the brake pads, I don't know if you can see it right there, they're pretty worn. So next what you're going to be doing is you're going to be taking off this bolt right here. There's one, and there's this second one down here. So these are the two bolts that you're going to be removing in order to take this off. Alright, you guys, so this is what I'll be using in order to take it out. This is a 12mm one. Make sure you're using metric, not standard. For any JDM vehicles, they use metric parts, not standard, or else you might be stripping the bolt. So as the old saying goes, righty tighty, lefty loosey. Alright. There we go. There's one. Do here, and the bottom one is two. Alright, break off those seals. You just basically work it. Alright. Sometimes when you could just use your hands to do the rest of it. Alright, those are going to come off. Then you could either use a flathead to take this off, or I have a different set of flatheads to take it off. So you could use something like this in order to take it out. So you basically just pry it from one side, and then you pry it from the other side. You pry both sides out. And when you take this out right here, just make sure put it somewhere where it's not gonna fall. Normally I'll put it up here. I put it in the top right there. It normally sits really well right there. So then you will take these out. They're on both sides. Now this one is not too bad. but as you can see, things starting to crack already, so that isn't good. The other side though, it's just about the same thing, but as you see right here, it shows you once it starts to touch this, that's when you'll start to hear that little eeet sound, and most people know that their brakes are going bad. This is what causes it. So once it gets us too close to this, that means it's time to change your brakes. Alright, so this is how a used one looks, and then here we got a brand new set, really brand new set. I've been opened. Alright, and just compare how they're supposed to be. Let's see, can you see that? Look at that right there. There you go. Alright, so now these are gonna go on this. So what I like to do is put on the little spray thing. Let me grab that. Alright you guys, so I got this stuff right here in order basically to keep the disc brakes quiet. Normally they give you like a little package at any auto parts that you buy. They have the little packets, little grease thing to put on your brakes. It's normally like $1 or something. I would really recommend to get it if you guys don't do this all the time, but since I do this all the time, I just went ahead and bought myself one, so that way I'm not spending $1 and $1 every time for the little packets, you know, and then I just, it's like for $5 and I got a big one. So what you do with these is basically goes on the back of this. So you spray some on this. Alright. Give it a bit of shake first. Alright. Then you put these back inside, like so. Alright. Alright. So this one with the little squeaky thing, the little metal part, is more often than not, it's always located inward. So if you're ever confused which side it goes, it's always inward. They always have it inside. So the thing that has this thing, make sure it goes inside. So on this one, it's inside and towards the bottom, so it's in the bottom spot. So if you ever get confused and you forgot and you took it off and you didn't notice where it was at, normally that's where its location is at. So there we go. Alright, that's said and done. Now you need to get one of these guys, or they have specialty tools too. This is called the C-clamp. This is what I use. I mean, there's other tools that's made specifically, but this one works just fine. So what this is for is this. Alright, so this thing needs to get compressed back inside. So with the C-clamp, put it in, and you're gonna basically spin this until it goes all the way in there, and you compress this thing right here. So it's gonna go all the way in. Keep spinning. It takes a little while, Make sure you got a good grip on it. Another thing you should do before you start to squeeze this, once it gets grip on it, it's starting to get grip, hold it, place, make sure it stays in place. What you're gonna do is you are gonna come up here and you're gonna find where your reservoir for your brake reservoir is at, which mine is located right here. And you're gonna loosen this top up. What it does, because it's gonna cause back pressure, it's gonna let it come back up this way. So when you press it, it's not gonna be as hard because it's sealed in. So this helps relieve some of the pressure. So you just set this onto the side. Come back down here and you begin to pressure this in. So you just start squeezing it little by little. Alright you guys, so finally press this all in. Make sure this is flush right here, flushed in. And you guys might be asking why you do this. Well, the reason you do this is because when you have your old ones, this thing is out. With the brand new ones, this thing is really thick. So this part right here, oh sorry, this part right here will not fit down here. So you press it all the way in, so that way this part right here can fit back in smoothly. So it's compressed all the way in now, because if you don't do that, it's not going to slide back in. You make sure it's all the way pressed in. Alright, so you just bring it back out. You finish doing that. Alright, it's almost done. Almost done there. Alright, that's done. So now with this compressed completely in, you're gonna be able to slide this back on. So when you're doing this, make sure also that this right here are lining up. Where the bolts that I previously took out, make sure that is lining up as well when you are putting it back in, because or else you're gonna have issues. So once that lines up, you put them on, make sure they're lining up. So this is in correctly, all the way in, pushed in, and then you get that going. Alright, so now this is all in right here. These little bolts that you took out previously, you're going to use them again. Sometimes depending what kind of kit you get a brand new set of it. So but it's perfectly fine to use the other ones. So one second. Alright, so another tip, you want to get both of them in, at least spinning, that they caught before you really start tightening it up. So they're both inside. Once they're both inside, then you tighten each one up, but not before, because if you do, it's going to be really difficult to get the other one in. So now that both of them are already got grip, then you can start to tighten them up really well. So just remember your righty-tighty, lefty-loosey rule. Same thing. Alright. Normally each one has a torque specification to do it. I always just do it like hand tighten. You know, just do it so many times. Like, don't do it, overdo it. It's a little bit hard, but don't overdo it, because you're gonna really have a tough time taking these out. Alright, so you're basically almost done, except for now you're gonna need to bleed the brakes. Alright, so you have a little nipple that's right there, and that is normally about, it's about an 8 or 10 millimeter. Let's find out which one it is. Alright, so after testing, I deemed this was going to be a 10 millimeter. So what you're going to have doing is, this is where you're going to need a partner. Unfortunately, I do not have one, but I have my ways of doing it. It's not ideal, but it gets the job done. But ideally, you want to have a partner for this part to bleed the brakes. So what you're going to be doing is, you're going to tell your partner to pump the brakes, which is basically they're going to press the brakes a couple times, and they're going to press it and hold it. You're going to hold the brake in. When they're holding it in, you're going to release this valve. Release it, it's going to shoot out, and then you're going to close it. Then they're going to let go of the brake, so it's sucking it up, and they're going to pump it back in a couple times. I would do it at least a minimum of 3 times, like pump, 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 you know, hold it, and then let go. Pump, 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 hold it, let go. And then they inside will start feeling it, that it's, you know, it's starting to get tough. Another thing you got to make sure is that reservoir is getting full, because you're draining them out. Make sure that it doesn't go empty. Make sure your reservoir doesn't go empty. So on the top right there, make sure that reservoir does not go empty as you're doing this. So every tire you do, most likely go up there and check. It takes normally .3. It's .3 brake fluid that you're gonna have. There's 3, 4, 5. Your car, you're most likely it's not gonna be taking it. If you're working on a Honda, it's not gonna be taking that unless you souped it up or whatever. But anyway, yeah. So is basically done. After that, you just put on the tire back on. You know, put on your bolts, and you're done. Please hit that like. It took me a good minute to get this video out and try to show you as much as I could, to show you exactly everything you needed to do in order to get this done. So please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe for more videos. And yeah, that's it. That's all it takes to do your own brakes, and you save yourself a good amount of money. Alright, until next time, peace out.